There you go. Hey, you're live on that.
Does that look like, do you see that, Nick, at all?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm on the HUNTR YouTube now. Let me switch accounts real quick, see if I could see it from my personal.
Change orientation.
You have a setting.
Just as orientation.
Like your phone setting for a rotate?
I think it's the live thing. That's fine. We can angle it. There you go.
I mean, we had a good hour and 15 minutes there. People probably do that.
It says it's live now. I can see you guys.
Yeah, you're the only one on there, it looks like.
Well,
Oh, there you go. There's 40 people. Sweet.
we're coming back. Can you hear us? Do you want to hang up with Nick? Just have him text us if he can hear us.
Okay. Does that look good, Nick?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Yeah, we're just going to do it on Jeremy's phone here for the rest of it.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, thanks, buddy. See ya.
Yep. See ya.
Jesus, all those are coming in now. Cool. Sorry, guys. We're trying to, I don't know what happened there. We lost internet or something.
Or something.
Or something. So give us a sec. We appreciate you guys jumping back on here. Assume you can hear us.
You want me to make a social post or something?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. That's crazy. Cool. All right, we're getting people back now. How do I do comments on this thing? I have no freaking idea. Because it's on my phone.
Here, bear with me.
We're getting there.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm going to make a little social post here real quick. Hey, guys. If you were just on the live from deer camp in Iowa, we lost internet or something.
Something happened.
You can jump over, and Jeremy's going live from his phone here. It's just a different live feed, so you can go over there. We'll go for another, whatever. We got pizza in the oven stuff, but we'll go here for a little bit, so we'll see you over there. Hey guys, if you were just on the live from deer camp in...
Okay. All right, we're back. I don't know how to do comments or anything like that.
Oh, here, I can probably read them on mine.
Can you read my ears?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Beauty.
Hey, that looks like us.
That's us. All right, sorry. We're just kind of double checking some things here.
Are you running off internet or off cell service?
Cell service.
Yeah, that's the move, I think.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to set us up there. I cut you off.
Yeah, 82 people on there already? That's good. Here.
This and turn it. There we go.
And then we can rub
Cool.
legs here.
Hi, nice. I don't know how we see comments or anything, so I apologize for that. If we can even see comments on this kind of thing. So, cool. So I guess a couple things, just to keep everybody updated. 195 electoral votes for Trump, 117 for Harris. It is currently 8:57 Central Time. So hopefully we've got some time here before this thing probably shakes out. If you guys are just joining us, Jared killed a mega giant here in Ohio. You want to show him a picture?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, show him a picture. Show you guys a picture of that so you guys can see it. And that's a mega giant. Yep. Monster. So, first evening in Iowa and Big Buck down.
Can you believe that? He's out there in a truck right there.
I know, it's pretty nuts.
That's what we're doing. Once we're done with this, guys, we're going to drink more beers. We're going to go put our hands on them, and we're going to eat pizza, and we're going to...
That'll be about it.
It's going to be epic.
That's pretty good simultaneous. Guys, it's, I guess, talk a little bit and help people out here as much as we possibly can. So, Jared actually, I guess, strategically hunted a scrape thinking that deer was going to come and crush that thing after the rain front came through. Obviously, there's bucks that are locked down with does now. I saw bucks that are just kind of up, kind of cruising around. That buck didn't have a doe with him. He was crushing scrapes. So it's kind of a weird time frame.
You can kill bucks on a pattern in November. I mean, it's not the classic like food bed pattern that people talk about. But, I mean, Cellcam's killed that buck tonight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Paired with some intuition.
Well, you killed that buck.
Paired with some intuition. And, yeah, I mean, ultimately I had to, get an arrow in him. But we got a picture of that deer at 11:30, and that helped us make some decisions. I mean, and I've done that before. That's not the first time. I mean, it doesn't usually happen on the first sit. But November, to me, is about being in the right spot. That is a part of a deer's pattern, and catching him between does or, making a scrape loop after some rain and stuff like that. And it really is just about seat time, in my opinion. And in this case, that time was about 2 hours.
2 hours.
So
yeah, yeah. I think it is. I mean, the hardest part when somebody says, "Well, like, how do you hunt the rut?" The hardest part is like different things are happening at different properties. Like if at one property there's does and estrus, there will be mature bucks that are locked down with those does. There'll be satellite bucks cruising them. If another place like a mature buck is coming off a doe, there's going to be a lot of activity. So we call it like feast and famine a lot, but there is no blanket like this is how you have to hunt the rut. It is seat time because the dynamic of what those deer are doing, it could change at like any moment. If that mature buck and that doe separate, things are going to get crazy because there's likely another doe coming into estrus right after. And if you're not in the woods at that time, you're going to completely miss it. If you're just like, well, they're crepuscular animals, I'm going to hunt the daylight and I'm going to hunt the dusk type of setting like we would in October.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happens in midday, you're going to miss it all.
We've been seeing a lot of midday movement. I mean, more than I can remember in any other season. I mean, and within the past couple of days or week or so, I mean, and I know it's funny, just even you and I, our experiences, I was saying the other day, I'm like, boy, no shortage of rut activity.
No.
I've been super happy. And, just for whatever reason, you're just not, I mean, that's the nature of the rut.
I haven't seen any rutting activity. Like, not an ounce.
Including scraping. Like scrapes.
I mean, just from like cameras but I mean, like,
no, in-person stuff.
No, I mean, I've had a couple mature bucks on the mountain in Pennsylvania daylight on scrapes, but like.
Well, I gotta believe you're gonna see it this week. I mean, it won't be.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it won't be every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like what you think. It's hard to. You may only get one or two of those like mid-morning like breakouts.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, holy cow! I mean, there's a hot doe here, and these bucks are just falling over each other. And it didn't happen for me last year until November 9th.
No, I mean that's not how you killed this deer either.
No,
he was just doing his
No,
thing.
this was a scrape.
Pretty
pattern.
Pretty interesting though, because if people were listening last piece. You heard what sounded like I would assume a pretty intense chase or something happening.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing he wasn't part of that.
No, couldn't have been. I don't think so.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. Being like, I'm sure he was about to go.
Funny in hindsight, I don't think so. Like the timing was such that he would have really had to make a quick loop.
Yeah, I bet he was going to join that party though.
I don't know.
I mean,
I only heard it once.
Yeah,
but it was distinct. I mean, it wasn't like did I hear that? It was like it was like
yeah. Someone was into it.
It's funny. I saw a muley buck a couple years ago do that to some does, and I got to experience
just getting, like the escalation of work up. Like
yeah, they just do it when they're like, hey.
Yeah,
that's kind of how
attention.
They do it. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in my mind, I'm kind of envisioning what's happening over there. And it's a dominant buck that usually will do that, or a mature buck anyways.
I'm sure there probably was another mature buck over there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. So, but yeah, I just thought that was cool. I mean, it's not like a pattern like food to bed or like...
Ooh, Trump over 200 now, 205. 65 electoral votes
he's
to the
pretty well
win.
ahead on that stuff. Well, I guess that's what they
It always kind of looks like this.
Is because they don't keep...
I mean, they're calling those states though. Like this isn't like I don't think that's the ahead. I think that's the calling. We're calling those states. I'm pretty sure. I think. Wisconsin. Trump's leading in Wisconsin. Way behind. Pennsylvania basically tied now.
Yeah.
We're coming back, bitches. Here we come.
Huh. But they make her look really good in these pictures, don't they?
Yeah. It's Photoshop. They make him look really piss poor.
Yeah. Very, very business. All business.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I'm going to win this election, and then I'm going to audit your finances. That's pretty interesting. Anyways, so it's November 5th. Rut is on. Hopefully all of our people back home are about to get this cold front blowing through. We just got it. So the next several days look good. It was 80 degrees in Pennsylvania and Ohio today, I think. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a pretty good spot for people to catch this cold front. It's probably going to get pretty active here pretty quickly. Just depends on where you're at. I know Kentucky, this Saturday is opening day of gun season. It's next Saturday in Missouri for sure. Maybe a Wisconsin next Saturday, or Minnesota is this Saturday, I think. Wisconsin's next Saturday, or 2 Saturdays from now. They'll have to correct me on that. But you're starting to get into, this is where, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but you're imminent to gun seasons in some places at this point, which I think changes strategy. Like if we were hunting Kentucky, I would probably be super aggressive the next 3 or 4 days before gun season on Saturday as a bow hunter, right? I've got 3 or 4 days and then everybody's out gun hunting. I'm going to be super aggressive. And if I booger the deer, I'm not, now's the time to do it. Like, just balls deep, here we go. Let's get in there. Still strategically, but, if you want to make it happen with your bow, you better try to do it now before we get into the gun season happening. Obviously, people can kill deer after gun season and kill them during gun season, but I think your best chance here is the days leading up to gun season. You best get aggressive and try to dive right in.
Yeah, well, we even thought about, right now we were like, okay, we're going to hunt Iowa for a week and then we're going to go back for a few days and regroup. And the plan, as of a couple of days ago, was, well, let's go to Illinois. And I guess that was like assuming that we were going to have some success here, but then, 2 days ago, we're like, dude, it's Iowa. Like, if we don't kill this week, let's go back.
We'll go back to Iowa.
We'll go back the week leading up to Thanksgiving. That's a great week.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere in the Midwest, as long as you get the weather. Mm-hmm. And they're still rutting. That's rut activity.
Yeah, in fact, I think that's some of the better parts because you're at the tail end of most of the does coming into estrus. Those does are starting to hit more food. Those bucks are coming in really having to check to find those does that are remaining in estrus.
You can have a lot of luck on green sources that week leading up to Thanksgiving, or in Ohio corn piles.
Yep.
Just wherever does are,
I was going to say, not this weekend coming up, but next weekend is the youth gun season in Ohio, which that 15th, 16th, I think it's 16th, 17th is the youth gun season. That's a really wild time frame from a movement side, from a rutting side, from and now you're adding guns from the youth. That's why those guys are extremely successful. Obviously, the youth are in Ohio because it's the timing. It's, not the tail end of the rut, but it's for sure later, right? So those bucks are having to work and move a lot harder to find the does that are still in the estrus at that point.
Yeah, man, it's just like, and I've learned over the years, like, I don't really get discouraged. Things happen. Like, if tonight had gone south, that would have been a real bummer, and that would have been a super low of the season. But up until this point, like, you might argue like, well, I didn't kill a buck in October, and it's like, okay, well, how, at what point in the season do I want to feel like
Still early.
It is, but also,
depending on where you're at.
It's like, November 7th, 8th, 9th rolls around, and you're like, hey, I haven't killed one yet. I got tags in 3 states,
coming. Yeah.
But it's funny how quick it can go from like, just a couple hours ago, this morning, I was just, not like I was feeling that way, but I was just like, Okay, well, hey, didn't kill one in North Dakota, didn't kill one in October in Ohio. Those were 2 opportunities I was hoping for, and I just killed the biggest deer of my life, like tonight. Like, what I'm saying? Like, it can happen. It can go that quick. So
It did, man.
It
It did go that quick.
it's just the mental game, and it doesn't just happen. It can, but
It's planning, it's preparation.
yeah, you want to. You want to create green lights for yourself in the future, right? It's like these a Matthew McConaughey reference there, I guess, but
green lines.
We put in the work. To like it's been 6 years in the making now to come to Iowa, and we've known this is on the rise. And we came out here 2-3 times and did the scouting and did the networking, frankly, to make connections with Josh and with the other people we have permission on and stuff. And like for all of that to come together is really what makes tonight and that buck that I killed like so rewarding. Just the fact that Josh had pictures of it, and whatever situation you want to say, like, oh well, that's why the deer was there. Yeah, that's true, but hey, they gotta live somewhere, right?
Sure.
And I really feel like we did the work.
It was cool
to get access to those properties.
Yeah.
And
it was cool after the fact. Josh had reached out to the previous landowner, who then shared pictures of the deer from 22, of which he thought he was 5 years old at that point.
Yeah.
Which would put that deer at 7. And so, when you're in a situation like that, and even like where Josh bought the farm, the previous landowner is still in communication with Josh, has history with that deer. Like all of a sudden it goes from like a fairly unknown and relatable deer to like, you're building the camaraderie aspect and the information that you're able to get. It starts to build history. But I still don't think, very few of us will ever be able to truly experience the pinnacle of the mature buck, the dominant buck, in maybe not just that property, but in that area, walking in, crushing scrapes, doing what deer do, to the point of within 20 yards is like,
yeah,
there are very few people that will ever experience that.
Yeah. Well, and don't, a lot of people sacrifice a lot to get to that point, and it includes burning relationships and stuff. The most fun part of tonight was you and Josh and I standing around that truck.
It was fun.
By far.
Yeah.
And they were very separate
tonight,
because it was like I recovered the deer by myself, and that was great. And I really cherished the moment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't control how it's going to happen. Like I got here first, and then Josh got here 10 minutes later, and then you got here 15 minutes later. And we were on phones and stuff, and it's just, your phone's blowing up, and you can't control how it's going to happen.
No idea. Yeah.
But that was the best. That was the best part for sure.
Yeah.
Just because better than anybody probably how hard I've been hunting for a deer like that. And we've been talking for 4 years on this podcast about chasing deer like that and hunting Iowa, and like it's like how long do you talk about it, but it's just like I don't know how to put a deer or a moment like that into words. It's just that's what we do it for.
Well, and and we joke about it like it's Iowa, there's booner around it. We joke about that a lot, but the it's hard for, and I think Josh got it tonight. After that is like, and even the Seth, the owner that I'm hunting on and stuff, it's like you guys like we appreciate this more than you could ever understand.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that they take it as a for granted and like are just oblivious to it, because Josh knows and Seth knows.
He got it tonight.
You
almost like, and it's just out of like passion. I grabbed it. I'm like, you understand how grateful I am for this deer? Like,
yeah, it's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity.
I get it, dude. You know what this means to me? And that's what you want as somebody, as a landowner, as a deer, manager, as somebody who invests a lot into those. You want to understand that the people who, killed an animal off your property or who are hunting it appreciate it as much as you do. And I know that made it worth it for him,
I think it really resonates because it is hard for people. Like, historically, we talked about it when we even started the podcast, and this is no knock on them, but like most of the deer hunting shows were based in the Midwest and specifically in Iowa, right? For good reason, right? Like it's You can kill, if you're a landowner, you can kill $3. You're in the land of giants, right? It's not like there's one around every tree, but the opportunity to do that, it is the best managed state level for whitetails anywhere, period. And so, for us who have based like this entire content piece and everything that we do on growing up in Pennsylvania and hunting Ohio and hunting in Kentucky, like when we come out here, it's literally like daydreaming of what this thing could be like, from just like watching other people, from coming out and doing shed hunts and stuff. But when the moment actually happens, it really is like a rendering, like speechless type of thing. Because it's just, you don't know how to even explain, like,
just to see that kind of an animal.
Well, that's the first thing I said when I finally got here and got my hands on the deer. I'm like, dude, we don't even chase animals like this. Like it's not like, oh, we have one of these on cameras, we just never see them, but we're like after them. Like, Jake's got a 200 sitting here. Literally, there's a 200 sitting. I can pick it up now. There's a 200 sitting right there, right behind that light. And most of us probably listening to this probably don't get to experience it, but we're not even in the game for those deer. So when it's like, number one, they exist, at home. Number two, we're sitting for them. We are in the game for them.
Well, you're dreaming, it's like you aspire to, you're like, wow, they got the genetics, we can give them the food. And
like your Temptation's a great example. 3-year-old, 150 plus inch deer, you just passed him. That deer at 5 or 6 could be 200 inches.
Yeah.
The odds of him making it to that, like this.
No chance. There's no chance we pass that deer next year.
Yeah, it's an impossible ask.
It's because of knowing the chances. Like, the chances are so small.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't blame people for shooting deer. It's like that, man, the neighbors are going to kill them most likely, but it's like...
Or they just die. They get EHC, they get hit by a car, whatever.
And it's easy. It's not easy, but it's like... It's easy to say. Like, the words are easy to say. Like, well, bet on a deer. Always bet on a deer. But in those higher pressure states, or even just...
You can't
not in the right neighborhood in the good states, it's like... They get killed year after year after year after year after. And so what are you supposed to do? Like, wait 10 years between every year? And
you can't, man. It's
or a lifetime. And it's just like, okay, so I get it. It's like, I don't, in that situation, it's like, yeah, well, maybe you do lower the standard. Maybe it's not possible to shoot those certain types of, and that's okay, I guess. It's a bummer. Yeah. As somebody who's experienced something like we experienced tonight, I'd love to see people in every state experience stuff like that, but I also see how far some of them are from a state regulation standpoint to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons that, we've said it numerous times, like this trip is 6 years in the making. And I'm not pissy about it at all. Like, Iowa's doing the right thing to make it so when 6 years in the making happens, it's this experience, what we just did. If it was an every 2-year experience, that wouldn't exist, or it'd be very infrequent type of thing. So, when you start to look at the grand scheme of things, and it's like, and it could be anywhere. Like, if you're in West Virginia and you're like, man, I want to take a trip to the Midwest, but whatever, I can't afford it. But cool, plan it out and like make it a 2-year plan. Like the opportunities exist. In fact, I was talking to someone earlier. They're like, hey, this is funny now. They're like, hey, like, what do you think? Would you rather tonight Trump win or you kill a booner? What do we say?
Trump all day long.
All day long. Because that is something that changes the course of this country for the long term. There's booners out there. There'll be booners next year, right? And I'm not saying that we have them on our property, but they're out there. You have to go find them. You have to go look for them, and it's not easy. By no means am I saying it's easy, but they exist every single year. Every single year they exist. You may have trouble getting access to them because they're on private, or you can't travel to Kansas, or you can't travel to Iowa, you can't travel to Missouri, whatever it is. But every single year, they do exist out there. In fact, we were talking on the way up here, and I said it almost like in a weird condescending standpoint. I was like, man, like it's amazing how many guys just trip in the big deer. Like I was looking at some of the Pennsylvania like hunting groups and stuff, and like just constantly, for state like Pennsylvania, 140s, 150s, and I'm like, no disrespect to those guys, it's like it's a complete random ass event that they were in the right place at the right time that deer came.
Yeah,
through.
it's almost like, how are you guys doing this? Like, I'm really trying hard at this.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
exactly
you don't
what it
seem
is.
like you're like
Yeah, and I when we talk about consistency, they're not there, right? They're not doing it
Sure.
consistently, but it happens. They trip on it. There was a couple just in the Pittsburgh area. I'm looking like multiple 160s, and I'm like, no offense, man, but like, how's that even possible? And he's like, yeah, I went out and I called and he came in, and
there's
like,
there's no point in comparing yourself to what other people are killing in the first place.
correct.
But at the same time, I feel pretty proud that like, there's guys in Iowa that are killing those kind of deer every year.
Multiple, maybe.
Every other year, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's awesome. Like I'm stoked for that. But in a way, I'm really proud of the fact that we traveled so far to do it, and with such little time on today was the first day on that property.
Yep.
And
we had the right people and the right connection.
Yeah, and that
which is
that
a
doesn't
huge
just
part
happen
of it.
either. That's
that's
kind
a
of
lot
our
of work in
skill
progress.
is, hey, let's talk to people. Let's let's make connections and try to get access. And also, we're genuine in that, like we were just talking about. Josh sees the appreciation for
Get
that.
us beers and pizza and pee.
Yeah, sounds good.
Keep talking. Oops, sorry.
And so I guess that's what we get out of it. Is sure, I'd love to kill those deer every year, like some of the Iowa guys or like some of the Kansas guys, but. It's like how many booners do you need on your wall? That's not what it's about necessarily. I think it's more just the whole experience, and everything that it's taken for us to get to this point and to gain access to that property, the relationships we built along the way, and like to look back on it now finally to say like I'm really really proud of how we did that. And from a deer hunting standpoint, what we were able to pull off there, I'm proud of it, and I'm also super grateful because I know that there's a lot of luck involved too. So just it was what it was. So now it's just kind of a trying to, for me anyways, just enjoy and be as useful to Jeremy for probably the rest of this trip. It's like let's just let's go find another one. I don't know that I can expect to replace tonight, but who knows. We've got 6 more days in Iowa, and Jeremy's got a tag in his pocket, and I'm gonna, do everything I can to film and be with him for that, and we've got some great properties to hunt. So I guess that's the plan. We're gonna just probably hang out here for watch this election as it's kind of unfolding here. It doesn't seem like it's really changing, Jeremy.
Can anybody comment or no?
I don't know. I can't see comments.
I wonder if maybe we'll try, and nobody has to go with us, but maybe we'll try. Sorry. Maybe we'll try to go back to the other feed and just start a new one and see if it works for the election stuff, and we can answer some questions. Feel bad that we didn't get to do that because I know people like that a lot.
Let me see if I can find the comments here.
But we may have to jump out and do one on the computer to see if that'll work on that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any comments on this.
Okay, cool. Well, let's try this. If you're listening, and I think our internet is okay, right? Are we still playing here?
As best you can.
Sorry, we're still playing. If you're listening to this, I'm gonna try to start one on this. I'm not gonna cancel this one yet. But I am gonna try to go live here on this one. Just to see if it'll keep streaming. What's that say? Manage. Stream. Let's just see if it works. Sorry guys, we're eating pizza. We're freaking starving.
pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not scalding either.
All right, let's see if this works. No, it's been out of the oven for like 20 minutes. Sorry, we're eating pizza. If we make you hungry, I apologize.
I don't know why it says connect streaming software to go live.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was saying on the last one too.
That's why. Okay, customize it. I promise we're trying to get questions. Jesus, why does that do that? Okay, edit. Is that what I just was at? This usually lets me. Oh,
You still have this plugged in, right?
yep. Sorry, I'm trying something different here, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Am I missing something here? This is the one I was trying to figure out.
Bracket says they say they're turned off, like comments are turned off.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me a second here.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm going to refresh this, Chris. Sorry, guys.
Can we switch over to Instagram?
Oh.
Go Instagram live?
Maybe.
Let's
Try that while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this shit.
There you go. Boom.
What's this?
Here, I'm live on Instagram.
All right, cool. We're going to go Instagram live simultaneously, potentially.
Let me make sure it's pulled up here. There you go. Had a guess.
Jesus crap.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm live on Instagram here, guys.
Cool, let's do that too.
If you want, or, you know, if you've had enough.
If you had enough,
No
we get
worries.
it.
It's fun hanging out. If you want to jump over here, you can.
Why can
Good
I-
idea, Kevin Merrill. That was Kevin. That was Kevin's idea. Craggy.
Kevin?
Me. Gavin.
Why can I never... How do you do your... I don't use a
What are you
Mac.
trying to do?
Oh, never mind. I was trying to go up. There we go.
I think there's some people on here that haven't been on YouTube, maybe.
Okay.
They're like, let's see this big one.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's see. How big was it? We don't know. We haven't taped it yet. We'll see how I can pull up a picture here. What do you think? He might go 180.
I think he's going to be all over it, dude.
He's all over it.
I'm going to try to do something here. I don't know if this... Oh.
Check this out. Why don't you do this? I'll take him out and show him the buffalo.
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Hey, if you're watching this and you want to jump over to our Instagram real quick, Jared's going to take you guys out to see the live buck. I'm going to try to start a new stream here as well.
You want to? Let's just finish with this.
Well, I've got this already started now.
All right.
Go do that. We got time. I'm going to kill this stream, guys. Sorry. I'm going live on the